Hi, Neil here at Mansfield FP, just giving you a quick market update. It's been an interesting couple of days in financial markets. So the ASX went past 6,900, so it's basically back to where it started at the start of the year. And at the same time, the Dow Jones Index in the US went past 30,000, which is an all-time record high. So somewhat surprising given what happened in March. Of course, you all remember we saw drops of up to 30% in financial markets across the globe. And at that time, early on, economists were saying this is going to be short-lived. We'll see a quick recovery. But the longer it sort of dragged on and the more severe the lockdowns and the global issues became, borders getting shut, etc., there was more and more talk of potentially this dragging the economy out for several years, or at least the recovery of the economy. However, that's not what we've seen. We've seen a steady recovery since March. And what this really tells us is markets are very reactive. Okay, when there's bad news, markets fall, and good news, markets go up. So especially in the last couple of weeks, we've seen a decent little bull run, partly because of the vaccine news. So we've had several vaccine manufacturers announce very promising results of their trials. And there's talk of vaccines becoming available around March next year. And of course, also a couple of weeks ago, we had the US election. There was a few jitters in the markets around that and which way that would go. But so far, at least, it seems like markets are happy the way that's turned out. Now, of course, we're getting to those record high levels again. And that means, we may see a bit of a correction in the short term, depending on what happens in the news, really. So what does that really mean for you as an investor? Well, whether you invest in your personal name or through your superannuation, we've all experienced the ups and downs of 2020. But what it really tells you is that you need to focus on the long term. You need to turn down the short-term noise in terms of the news and avoid overreacting to events. You see that the markets have recovered, and you'll see in the chart behind me that they've done this over the last 30 years, time and time again. So it really pays to have a long-term investment strategy and focus on long-term results. Sure, there are people who do short-term day trading, and some of them make a lot of money, but I can assure you there's a very small minority that are able to do that effectively. Most of them will lose money, and the chances are it'll cause you a lot of stress as well. So much better to focus on the long term, and that's what we work with our clients, setting them up with a long-term investment strategy to achieve their long-term goals. So I hope that's been helpful. Wishing you all the best for the remainder of 2020, and I'll see you soon.